What is the first thing you're going to do when you get out of lockdown? Hey everyone, I've had two really good questions that have come through, and both are similar in ways and different in others. The questions are, what is it that what are the first things I want to do when I get out of lockdown? And the second is, are there any things right now that I want to buy, but I'm waiting for lockdown to end before I buy them? So I'm going to start with things that I want to do when I get out. And honestly, the way I feel right now, there are so many things that I want to do. I think I'm going to probably faint before I actually get anything done, because I have not enjoyed lockdown 1 second. And to me, I wasn't going to say that because I automatically assume that no one's enjoyed it, but I think a lot of people have. But for me personally, I haven't, for reasons I'll come on to. But the first thing I desperately want to do is I really want to go and see my friends and family. Zoom calls are brilliant, but they don't make up for the real thing. The second thing, and this is going to sound really vain, but I'm meant to be being honest on this, so I'm just going to say it. I want to go to the hairdresser really badly, and I want to go to the gym. What can I say? It's how I feel. So my hair, I actually took a call the other day. It was like a work call on Zoom, and I had my hair kind of like this. Now at the moment, it's probably, because I've got a black top on, it's going to be a bit hidden so you can't see what it's like. But I had this white top on, and the ends of my hair look really like straggly, and I have like loads of split ends, so like ideally I'd have about that much taken off it. And you know, when I used to go to the hairdresser before this, I used to find it really boring because it's repetitive. You know what you're going to get done, and unless, the only time I really enjoy the hairdresser is if I think I'm going to get something really dramatic done to my hair, like a complete change. That can be quite exciting. But for routine stuff, I always found it boring, but I'm never going to find it boring again. And please, can anyone tell me, since being locked in, is anyone else's skin looking really dry and dull and like really enlarged pores, and your hair's really dry? I know two other people that I've spoken to that have said the same thing to me, and none of us can figure out what it is. And I don't know whether it's to do with not going out so much, or even stress, because I have been stressed through this situation. And I was trying to go out for walks with my husband, but the thing is, like, it lasted probably for about a week. And we still go out for walks occasionally now, but again, it's like the same walk. It's quite repetitive, it's quite boring. So the other things, I really want to go shopping, and I know a lot of you are probably thinking, well, that's no surprise, but the fact of the matter is this. Me as a person, I like shopping, but I don't go shopping that much. With the videos that I do on YouTube, if I do videos about anything except shopping and stuff and bags, no one watches them. So that's why the content that I make is all about that. So you would be forgiven for thinking that I'm someone that just thinks about shopping. I'm just like an airhead that thinks about buying stuff from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed. In reality, I probably go shopping once a month, and that's the vlogs that you see. I like shopping, but it's not a massive part of my life. And I think if you knew what my life was really like, you'd be quite surprised, because it's not as shopping focused as you would see from the videos. But I'm missing it. I'm missing walking around the shops with my husband, just looking at what there is, going for lunch. I'm missing small things like going and getting a coffee, even just from Costa, you know, getting a takeaway coffee. I'm really missing that. And being able to go out in the evening was the hardest pill to swallow for me. I'm really social. My private life is really social. Before all of this, my husband and I, and sometimes some of our friends would join us, but we pretty much go out for dinner a couple of times a week. And even if we're not going to do dinner, we cook together a lot, but we'll always go out at least twice a week just for like a glass of wine or something. In fact, last Friday, I said to David, for a split crazy second, I forgot that we were in lockdown, and I was like, oh, it's Friday, do you want to go out for a drink tonight? And I was like, oh yeah, we can't. For the things that I'm buying, the first up, and these things, they're not really urgent for me, if I'm totally honest. It's just that if you really ask me the question, is there anything that I want to buy when I'm out of this, I guess I'd say these things. The first is the Louis Vuitton Agenda, and I want to get it in the GM size. Now, I don't love the Louis Vuitton classic LV monogram print. Quite like the Abine, like the squares. But tell you the place where I don't mind the LV monogram is on luggage type items and accessories like this. So the reason why I want to get the GM size is the largest size. And I want to get this to go on my desk because while I've been off, my office, I think I filmed this actually, my office used to be a real mess. Just of like piled up papers, things I needed to go through and file but could never be bothered. And I just decided, well, I've got nothing else to do, so I'm going to clean it up. Now it's looking really tidy, and I would really like to have a nice desk organizer. And I have actually got one that's the same size as what the LV will be, and it's just like a purple Filofax organizer, and I like it. Nothing wrong with it, it's really functional, but yeah, I think I'd probably quite like to go for like an LV agenda. The second thing, I really want to get a Peloton bike. If anyone's got one, please can you leave comments below on how you find it, or the Nordic-track. I think I'm going to go for the Nordic-track bike because it looks like you get a bit more for your money with that. Basically, these are these interactive at-home spin bikes. And with the Nordic-track one, you can use Google Earth and you can cycle anywhere you want in the world. You could cycle down your friend's road. It looks really, really good fun. It's interactive. You can join lots of live classes. And the instructor, if they want to, from what I understand, can be like, "You're slacking, Sophie, hurry up." So it's quite a good experience. And the reason why I want to do this is since being in this situation, I really badly miss the gym, and exercise for me is something that I do it a lot because it helps me sleep better and it makes me feel better. Since not being able to go to the gym, I have been trying to jog, but I don't love it. I find it really boring and I don't feel like it really tests my body. So I decided to get a bike. It wasn't the Peloton or the Nordic-track though. And I had some of you on Instagram last week saying, because I said, oh, I've got this bike. Now at the time I hadn't unwrapped it. And I had a few of you saying, oh, can you share with us what the bike is, like where it's from? You don't want to know. I got this bike on Amazon. It was, can you believe it, but the internet is sold out of bikes at the moment, I guess, because everyone's off. I managed to find one spin bike. It was not cheap, but from what I've seen, spin bikes, they're either about £300 or they're like 2,000. It's really hard to find something in the middle. So I bought this particular bike and it was like 300 and something pounds. And I bought it because everything else, even the £2,000 ones, are sold out. Bought this bike, it turned up. I do not know, it stinks. It smells kind of like mold with rust and chicken chow mein. It smells so badly that when we took it out of the box, we put it in, so we've got this room that we don't use, and I thought, right, this can be the temporary at-home gym. So we put the bike in there, and it was so intense, the smell, that we had to open up the windows in that room and leave the door shut, and it still smells now. On that level of the house where the bike is, it stinks, and it's really, we don't really know what to do about it. Now, I did clean it down with wet wipes, like the antibacterial, and it's done nothing. It smells really bad. So I'm gonna be returning that, and I'm just gonna wait, I think, for a proper bike to turn up. But that's why, for those of you asking, that's why I never showed you it and I never reviewed it, because you don't want the thing, trust me on that. Chanel sneakers, I don't even know if I can still get these, but I saw these sneakers back at the end of February and I really like them, and I keep seeing them on social media and they catch my eye. But you can't buy from Chanel online, which is annoying. I don't know how that's going to work out for them in the long run. And then finally, none of these things, I think, with the exception of the bike, are essential. Like, let's be honest, they're not essential. And they're not things that I'm desperate to buy right now. It's just, if you really ask me the question, they're things that I would. But don't kill me, I want to get a saddle bag, but I want to get a vintage one. Because since being off, I have been using my denim saddle bag loads, and I've grown a new love for it, even though, you know, I don't really like the shape of it. I find it quite strange. But I really would like to get one in black, but I don't want to pay nearly £3,000 for it because I don't like it enough to do that. And I've been looking at secondhand ones, like the original ones from the 2000s, and you can get them for good money, like under £1,000, a good bit under 1,000. And also, with those original ones, you can get them with silver hardware, not just with the aged bronze or with mattes now. So I've seen one in particular that's black satin, and it's got the silver hardware, and I really like the look of it. And I'm thinking I might kind of put an offer in on it and see what the person says, but it's not something I'm rushing to get until I'm kind of out of this situation. So they're the things that I want to buy, although I've got to tell you, I just can't wait to get out of this situation. Please, I would love it if any of you could share with me how you've been finding it, good or bad. It's actually been really stressful in a weird way. It's given me really bad anxiety because I'm someone who, I like to know what I'm doing. I like to know what the plan is. You know me, I'm obsessed with my vision board. I like to know, you know, what are my goals for this year? And I did my vision board at the end of 2019. Then Corona hits and my vision board is basically down the toilet. I mean, the stress how weird's that? It has made me realise that when it comes to kind of being ambitious, ambition is good, but when stuff like this happens in life, even though it's unprecedented, it's made me realise that I probably need to rein it back a bit. So yeah, it has been hard. It's also really boring. I hope you've enjoyed watching. It's just been chatty, and thank you as well for the 2 people who asked the questions. If you like the idea of this and you're like, oh, I have a question and I'd like my username read out, leave your question below. What I'm doing at the moment is, even if I don't write back to you, I'm scrolling the comments constantly, and if I see a suggestion that I think is a really good idea, I'm screenshotting them on my phone, and that's literally how I'm picking them off. So it's not to say that I'm guaranteed going to see your comment and do something on it, or it might even be that you asked for something that I've already done. But if you've got a suggestion of anything that's of interest to you at the moment, then leave it below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.